Hello, I recently made a studio tour video, I know, but I have just moved again and I just couldn't help make another video because I'm just so excited about this setup. So this place is primarily meant for recording video and streaming and not just being on two powerful Blender computers. Now I have one computer at the office with the RTX 4080, and in here I have the RTX 4090 as well as a streaming PC. So this is going to be a deep dive into my new studio, which it will probably change in less than 6 months, but yeah, I want to show you everything because yeah, this is so much cool stuff here. So this is a pretty interesting setup, I think. Basically, let me turn you around. Here we have two computers. This is a streaming computer or like a recording computer. Here you can see we're in OBS. You can see me right here. And then this is the Blender computer where I'm in Blender, right? And this is probably the usual way of doing stuff when you're a streamer or a content creator. You have two computers. So you have one computer that can crash, reboot, and literally burn, be on fire, and then the show will go on because you have a dedicated recording here. But what I think is really cool is that I have a solution that makes me that I don't need a dedicated mouse and keyboard to control this computer with that one. But I'm gonna come back to that. So first let me just take you through how all of this works. So here I work in Blender. When this computer is sending the image to this monitor, it goes through this, a capture card, the Elgato HD60X. And then this monitor is connected to the Blender computer. So here on the streaming computer, if I go here to desktop, here now you can see that this streaming computer can record everything that this sees. It's pretty standard setup, right? It's just a capture card. And so then I have a second capture card. This is my old capture card, the HD60S Plus. This has the HDMI from the camera, which is here. And then I have the Stream Deck here, which is connected to the streaming computer, so I can change the settings. Pretty standard streaming stuff, right? But here's the thing. Usually when people have a dedicated streaming computer, they have a mouse that is like wireless, and then they move it over here so they can control their streaming computer over here, and then you can't see it, but then the mouse is moving over there, right? I got an interesting idea. What if you can use Parsec to control the streaming computer? So if I move my mouse over here, here you can see I have Parsec, and then I'm connecting to this, and now you can see here we have this stuff. So now if I, let me move this around so you can see, here I'm moving it with the mouse connected to the Blender PC, and now you can see over here, it's moving. And what's really cool about this is that this also sends keystrokes. Let's, for example, rename this with this keyboard, and then you can just take your computer mouse, move it over here, and you're still in Blender on this computer. So it's a really powerful setup, but there's still a challenge. This is not in full screen. This is just a really ugly mess, right? It's this small box you can see here. So, but the problem is, if you just turn off this monitor now, then Parsec will just stop working because there's some issue with NVIDIA that they know that if you're using a computer without the monitor, you're most likely using a virtual server somewhere, so you have to pay for this grid license, right? But here's the trick. If you run a HDMI cable from the vertical monitor into the streaming PC, or at least that's what I did, now I can turn off this monitor, and look what happens over here. This just gets vertical. So now I have this big vertical monitor that is connected to the streaming PC where I have the mouse and keyboard and everything works. And then I can just move my mouse over and now I'm in Blender. Okay, so there's one more problem. You can't really work on this computer like it's your own. If you press the Windows key, for example, it will open on the main Blender PC. However, in Parsec, you have something called immersive mode, and that is Control-Shift-I think. And I have remapped this button to be Control-Shift-I. So if I'm on this computer, I can click that button, and now it says immersive mode on. And now what happens is that I can't really exit. See that? And that also means that I can press the Windows key, and now I can use this completely separate as a Windows computer. Yeah, this is gonna be, this is a really niche issue, but if you're a streamer and you try to set this up, you should just use Parsec. It's really nice. And just remember to hook up this monitor to both computers, so it will get the correct resolution. Okay, yeah, I'm getting really worked up about this, but I'm really excited about it. So I feel like this deep dive channel is just made for these kind of deep things. And also, I'm not really sure if this makes any sense. Okay, so I also have some new audio stuff here. So here I have the Rode PSA1 arm, just the arm. And then the microphone is it's a ridiculously powerful. I'm borrowing this from a friend, so I have to give it back. But this is the Neumann U89. And that is a ridiculously powerful microphone. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give this back, but I have already ordered the TLM 102. the Neumann TLM 102, which is also a really cool mic. And then I got my light, the Westcott Flex 1-inch. Yeah, and then I got my main blender computer, which is the RTX 4090, the Intel i9 13900KS, I think. 64 gigabytes of DDR5 memory, and the HYTE Y60 case, which is really cool. I love this. Okay, and then is also my sound card, the EVO 8 by Audient, I think. Yeah, I also watched a video on how to get how to monitor the audio on your computer. I watched a separate tutorial on how to get the audio jack with a splitter into these two XLRs and then into the sound card, and because this sound card is connected to the streaming PC. Here I have the headset attached, which is the Hypercloud 2 or something. It's really good. I love wearing this. For this setup, I'm using my old camera, the A7S Mark II. This is not HDR, this is an SDR camera. And even though all my other equipment right now supports HDR, this camera is gonna be the bottleneck, so I'm not sure if I'll be making HDR videos like super early in the future, because I want one camera here to just be there and just work. And then I'm gonna use my new camera to like run and gun outside if I'm shooting stuff outside. And my new camera is the Lumix S5 Mark IIX, which I bought because it could shoot in HDR. And now I'm like, might be going back to an SDR workflow just for a few months. We'll see. I'm getting really, really excited about this place. Just as I got excited about the last place. So that's my new setup. I'm just so excited about that this computer can literally crash and reinstall Windows, and the video will still be recorded. I feel like I've been rambling a lot in this video, but yeah, that's how the process is sometimes. So yeah, that's my setup. Thanks for watching. Oh, let me show you this. This is from an upcoming video.